Hey guys, so I'm actually filming this intro after I have the foundation on that we're going to be talking about today. You guys know by the title of this video what we're going to be talking about today. It's the new Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation, and I have it in the shade 5N if you are curious. But I filmed the way I normally film, you know, with the bare face. I kind of introed it and then I applied it for you. So you will see all of that. I just completely spaced out like a total idiot and forgot to mention my dear friend Risa does makeup. So we were going to collab last week, but my package for this foundation got lost. So anyway, I never got the foundation. She got it and I was like, put up your video. So she was kind enough in shouting out my channel and I wanted to do the same, but especially because last week she did a first impressions and Risa and I are the same age, but she has oily skin. So I have very, very dry skin and she has oily skin. So if you have oily skin or more oily skin than I do, definitely check out her video because she will be able to give you a much more accurate description and first impression of the foundation for that skin type. The other thing I wanted to mention is she's also uploading a video now comparing this foundation to the Estee Lauder Double Wear. She mentioned to me that she was getting a lot of questions from people wanting to compare these two foundations, and she did so, and she actually has some very interesting findings. That foundation I don't own and I've actually never ever tried, so I have zero input on that. So definitely check out Risa's channel. I will link it down below, but you'll want to check out both of those videos. So last week she had her first impressions, and then today at the same time I'm uploading this video, she has her comparison with the Estee Double Wear, which I am really excited to check out. So definitely check out her channel, show her some love, tell her I sent you over there. I'm sure you guys all know Risa. Such a lovely lady and has become such a dear friend of mine. So check out her channel and let's hop into the rest of this video. So I did warn you guys that this was going to be a very, very foundation review heavy week here on this channel. So today we're going to be talking about, I'm giggling because this is like on everyone's channel right now, but this is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. And I had a little bit of a shipping snafu. I placed an order for the color 3N and then the little corrector. And then when I thought about it a little bit more, I was like, maybe that's going to be too light. I don't know. So then I went ahead and made a second order for the color 5N, which is what I'm holding here. This package was recovered because both of my packages were lost, but my 3N corrector package is still missing. So we're gonna go with this one today. Again, I have color 5N here, and I'm just reading on the Charlotte Tilbury site all of the claims of this foundation. So it's supposed to be a full coverage foundation. We're doing full coverage again. It's supposed to have a matte appearance, so I'm very curious how this is gonna wear on my very dry, sensitive skin, because at the same time, I'm reading on her website, it is supposed to moisturize your skin, and it's supposed to reduce the appearance of wrinkles. It's supposed to give you a flawless, poreless look. It contains air cool for instant fresh feel. 97% agree skin feels cool after use. There's some sort of unique defense system in here that's supposed to protect you from pollutants. It's sweat proof, humidity proof, waterproof, and transfer resistant. So if you want to go to the Charlotte Tilbury site, there's all these, you know, statistics and percentages about what you're going to see and how it's going to change your life, basically. I just want to see how it's going to look on my skin. So we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to be doing a full day wear test today. I'm going to be applying it with you guys. I'll do one check-in and then I'll come back at the end of the day to give you my final thoughts. So it is about 7:30 in the morning here. And so I'm hoping to do, you know, maybe like a 10-hour. Yeah, if I come back at about 5:30, it'll be like a 10-hour wear test. I think that's pretty good. I don't generally wear makeup that long. And just to give you a little bit of background, I am 45. I'll be 46 next month. I'm so excited. And I have dry, sensitive, eczema-prone skin. All right, so let's get this on my face. I do have all of my skincare down, which includes a lot of things like toner, lotion, serum, oil, moisturizer, and then my blue light protector from Sisley. So I have all of that down. My skin is very well moisturized at the moment, but it doesn't feel like any of the products are sitting on my skin at the moment. It really feels like it's all been sunken in, absorbed. Oh, I was on her site because I was looking to see how they recommend applying this, and I got really like distracted by all of the percentages and all of the things that this magical foundation is supposed to do. So under the how to apply, it doesn't actually have any application tips other than start at the center of your face and blend outwards. A little goes a long way. I have definitely heard that. I really try not to watch other people's reviews before I review something, but it's really, this has been everywhere. This has been everywhere. So I have heard that. So I'm going to start with just a little bit, and I'm going to start with a brush because that is my tool of choice. All right, so I've got my Refer foundation or cream product brush. It's like their little flat top kabuki brush. And I'm going to squeeze out just a little bit. Let me shake it up first, actually. It doesn't say to shake, but I generally like to shake liquid foundations. While I'm shaking, this is made in Italy, and it is good for 18 months upon opening. Oh, apply your Airbrush Flawless Foundation, blending outwards from the center of your face for flat. Yeah, it doesn't have any actual application tips other than that. Oh, hello. Who are you? Nice to meet you. Welcome to my face. All right, I'm just gonna pump a little bit out on the back of my hand. The texture of this foundation is a little bit thinner than I thought. I thought it was gonna be a little bit thicker, only because it's, you know, full coverage and matte and everything. This does look like it's gonna be maybe a little bit warm. This does not seem neutral to me at all. This seems actually very, very warm toned. All right, so I'm just gonna take a little bit and I'm gonna start just dabbing it here along my cheeks here. I think it has a light, is that citrusy scent? Maybe it has a little bit of a light citrusy scent. I'm just gonna hold up the ingredients here if you wanna just pause the video, if you wanna kind of take a look at the ingredients. I'll zoom in as far as I can because the lettering is always so small, but hopefully you'll find this helpful. And I'm going to start with this foundation brush and just blend this in. I do think this color is a little bit off for me. It's a little bit too peachy or orangey tone, warm toned, I should say. So that's just with a little tiny bit. I actually don't find this to be very full coverage just yet. I did take it very slow. So I'm gonna dab a little bit more on. Dab a little bit more here. I do like the brush application so far. So there it is. I'm definitely starting to see the coverage build up. It builds up fairly quickly. Like you saw, I really am not putting on a lot at a time. So I think this is definitely a good foundation to take it slow. And I'm kind of just spot applying this now on blemishes and freckles and things. Add a little bit more here. See how it covers that redness? And a little bit more down here. Okay, let's bring you in close to this cheek area so you can get a sense of the coverage. I'm sure you'll also get a sense at how incorrect this tone is for me. I probably need to get like a cool tone. All right, let me finish up by applying to this half of my forehead, and we'll compare the two sides of my face. Oh, I didn't even talk about the packaging. This is such a beautiful bottle, and when I first saw it, I thought it was round, but it's actually oval. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then it has her rose gold toned hardware here. The cap is plastic, the pump is plastic, and then the bottle seems like a frosted glass. And we have 1 fluid ounce in here. Well, so far, I have to say, I think it looks really, really nice. It definitely has a matte finish. But I don't feel like it's making my skin look dry necessarily, or dried out, or cakey, or desiccated in any way. It just looks like it has a matte finish. In terms of coverage, I do think that the coverage is more of a medium. I did put on a very, very light layer. And if you're someone that was intimidated by the idea of full coverage, I think if you use a very light hand, you can get a medium coverage here. I'm definitely going to build it up on this side of my face because I do want to see if I can get it to a full, like it claims. And then in terms of the shade, this being a neutral, I don't find this to be neutral at all. You can probably see how much warmer it is just on this part of my face versus my neck. So I'm definitely gonna have to bring this down on my neck a little bit. So let's go ahead and apply some more. I'm gonna apply another thin layer. I'm just pumping out another pump there. And again, I'm gonna just kind of dot the center of my face and use the same brush. Oh yeah, immediately I can see that we're getting full there. All right, 2 light layers of this foundation definitely gets you to a full. I feel like any of the discoloration I saw on my cheeks, all gone. Any of my freckles, the hyperpigmentation I have, it seems to be completely covered. So far, I'm noticing 2 things that aren't that pleasing. I want to say it looks very cakey around my nostril over here. It looks like it's kind of like breaking up, it's caking up, it's doing weird things right around my nostril, but it looks fine on the rest of my nose. It looks fine on like the tip of my nose. And then I do feel like just right around here, it's kind of like sinking into my laugh line here, and then it's sinking into my pores here. And I don't have, I mean, I have some pores there. I mean, we all have pores, but I don't have like really gigantic problematic pores here, but I feel like you can see them there now. So that's interesting. Not horrible, but I do definitely feel like I'm seeing my pores here, which I generally don't. All right, so I'm gonna apply it to the rest of my face. I'm gonna bring it down my neck because this is not cute. And then we'll be back to take a closer look at the foundation all over my face. All right, so I have it all over my face and I am starting to feel like it's looking a little bit cakey around my nose and my mouth. It's definitely picking up on like my peach fuzz, and my pores are definitely looking alive and well. But I do like that it is a matte foundation, but that it doesn't look dry necessarily. Like it doesn't look chalky on my skin. Yeah, I just feel like it's like emphasizing imperfections, lines, pores. It's looking cakey. Under my eyes, it actually looks pretty good. It's just these lines right here and a little bit on my forehead. My forehead looks a little cakey too. All right, so I've got you pulled in close. We'll start with the forehead. I think the forehead looks okay. I think you can see my lines there. I don't think that they're necessarily, I don't know, emphasized. Definitely not camouflaged. The foundation looks a little bit thick, but not too horrible. And then around my eyes, I think it actually looks really good under my eyes. I don't think it's emphasizing my fine lines there. And it's not like creasing or doing anything odd. And then hopefully you guys can see like the pores to either side of my nose, and also kind of like the cakiness around the nostrils. And then maybe the emphasis on my laugh lines. I wonder if you guys can see that, but I can definitely see it here when I look in my mirror. And then down here around my mouth, I feel like it looks a little bit cakey. And along my cheeks and jawline, I feel like it's really picking up on all the peach fuzz. And I don't have a crap ton of peach fuzz, but I do feel like this foundation is making it look like I do. So I don't even think I need to powder this foundation. There's a little, like the slightest bit of tack. So if you're going to be using powder products, you may want to put down like a loose powder so that, you know, your other powder products will run smoothly over it. But maybe I'll just dab a little bit of cream product on my cheeks, eyebrow, do some light eye makeup, and that's it. Again, I just really want to focus on the foundation today. I'm not filming any other videos. I really want to do like a proper wear test with this. All right, so I will see you at my first check-in. Hey guys, I thought I would do my midday check-in while I was out running some errands. It is, what time is it? It is about 12:15, and when did I start? 7:30? About 5 hours. And I just want to show you, this is the emphasis of like my smile lines that I was seeing earlier today when I first applied it, and I think it's hard to see in my studio lighting. So I think you can probably see them a little bit better out here in the daylight. I'm just on my iPhone. And then I don't know if you can see also like just kind of the emphasis of my pores here. Nothing horrible, just a little bit more than other foundations that I've used. Otherwise, I feel like this foundation is actually wearing really, really well. I feel like, I want to say around the 2 or 3 hour mark, I felt like the foundation was really kind of like meshing with my skin. It really kind of, I don't know, maybe the heat of my skin just kind of warmed it up and allowed the foundation to kind of sink in a little bit better. But I do feel like I'm liking it a little bit more than I liked it upon my first application. I just feel like it's just looking a little bit nicer. I only have some cream products. I have the cream contour, a cream blush, both from Charlotte Tilbury, on my cheeks. So anything you see is just foundation basically. I don't have any powder down. I don't have any highlighter down. You know, nothing, no concealer or anything, nothing else. I have brows, eye makeup, and lipstick on, but that's it for the cheeks. So I just wanted to do this check-in here. I hope this is helpful. You can actually see my forehead lines here. This is actually pretty par for the course for me. I'm always talking about my forehead lines, and I think a few of you have been like, you don't have forehead lines. I do. I think it's the studio lighting. So those are the valleys in my forehead. But other than that, I think it's wearing really, really well. The coverage is there. It is very, very hot, dry, but hot here in Vegas. So definitely, I don't know if I've broken out into a sweat, but I've gotten really, really hot and nothing odd has happened with the foundation. So I will see you guys later on for my final thoughts, final review, final check-in, and if anything happens in between, I will pop back on. So I will see you guys later. Hey guys, it's about 6 o'clock in the evening, so I've had this makeup on, oh my gosh, what is that, 10 and a half hours? 10 and a half hours. I can't count. Yeah, 10 and a half hours. Sorry, 10 and a half hours. And I have to say, I like this foundation more than I thought I was going to. But I do want to just mention, so I think I had talked a little bit in the beginning of this video about how I had a little bit of a shipping snafu and how one box went missing and how I ended up with the other one, and that's the shade 5N, and I do think it's a little bit dark for me. And I just got a package today from Beautylish. It says, "Hi Michelle, hope you enjoy these new beauty goodies. Can't wait to hear your thoughts." And they sent over 3N and 4N. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much to Beautylish for sending these over to me. I am so thankful for these because I don't think I'm ever going to get this other box of mine, unfortunately. So thank you so much, Beautylish. I will definitely be checking out the other shades because, and now let me give you my final thoughts and review on this foundation. So for a full coverage foundation, I think it is actually pretty good. As I've mentioned in my 2 previous foundation reviews, which were both full coverage foundations, it's not really for me. I don't wear them often. It's just not what I like to wear, but this one is not bad. I do think that it emphasizes my lines here. I do feel like my pores look a little bit more enhanced. I guess that's the word. It's really not camouflaging any sort of texture or anything. I think that's the kind of trade-off with full coverage, is that full coverage will even out your skin tone, but it's not really going to help in terms of texture and fine lines and pores and things like that. And I do feel like that's how this foundation is behaving, and I think it actually looks fairly nice on my skin. Now, I didn't powder my face at all. I only have cream products on my cheeks, and I have very, very dry skin, and I feel like this foundation, even though it started out a little bit matte, it actually looks like really nice right now. It looks really, really healthy. It doesn't look quite as flat as it did, and it doesn't look greasy or anything like that. So I'm really happy with the finish of it. I am very happy with the coverage. I am very happy with the longevity too. I have been out and about like crazy today. So the end of my nose here is really where you can see the foundation kind of fading, breaking up, and it's not doing it very gracefully. It's not just sort of like, oh, it doesn't look like I have foundation there anymore. You can actually see it kind of like breaking up, which is not great, but that's the only place I see it. My forehead still looks really good, which I'm really surprised at. I've been sweating all day, so I'm just really surprised that my forehead is still intact. And the fine lines under my eyes, they're a little bit more emphasized than my initial application, But again, for a full coverage foundation, I don't think this is bad at all. I don't think this is bad at all. So out of this foundation and the other two that I covered, the xoxo cushion and the Kevyn Aucoin balm, I like this one the most. This one I feel like lasts. I feel like the coverage is full, but it doesn't look too cakey. It doesn't look like the balm. It doesn't look quite as natural as a xoxo, but it lasts, and it lasts pretty well. So surprisingly, I'm actually enjoying this foundation. It also doesn't feel dry. I was also afraid, with full coverage foundations, that eventually they kind of just get drier, and I don't know, and then you can kind of like feel them on the skin. I can't with this one at all. It feels nice on the skin. I can feel it. I generally am more into makeup that you can't feel at all. I can feel it, but it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel crunchy. It doesn't feel like it's drying out my skin. It doesn't feel like a mask. It just, I just can kind of feel it in spots. Like down here, I can definitely feel it. But that's it. So let me know your thoughts about this foundation if you tried it down below in the comments section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.